Imagine a family hauler that goes from 0 to 60 in 4.4 seconds. Well, you don't have to imagine it any longer because it's right here. It's the Durango SRT. Yes, indeed. It's a badass family hauler. And coming up next, I'm going to tell you everything you ever want to know about it. And yes, that's Yvonne over there. And she's in the shot because, yes, she's a lot cuter than me. First question right off the bat, can it do a four-wheel drive burnout?
Absolutely. We have ways.
So we'll do a burnout with all four wheels.
Maybe in the right conditions for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so tell me about the car. Let's start with kind of the basics. How much horsepower and what's the engine under the hood?
Sure. 392.
Yep.
Had to start there with the good stuff. 475 horsepower, 470 foot-pounds of torque. It was really a natural to do this for the Durango. We were excited to do it. We knew, something that we've been waiting for as all the car geeks in the SRT community in-house to do this vehicle. My job always is to try and give the engineering guys all the functional pieces that they need, but still make it look as cool as it can. And that's why the front end looks the way it does. We've borrowed cues from Viper, even from the Charger SRT as well, and the massive mouth, all about breathing, all about getting as much air in. Yep.
And this looks very much like a Hellcat hood.
Absolutely, or Viper GTS. Yes. A little bit of that too. Functional in that it lets air in and definitely letting heat out from under the hood. But it's part of that look that this vehicle has. Every designer talks about a car wanting to have, scare people on the road, and this has attitude to it. This definitely, you're going to notice it coming up.
Ralph Gilles has kind of brought the, I'm going to call it the Stormtrooper look to some of the brands. I see a little bit of that in there, a little bit more in the Charger, but I see a little bit in here. What was your kind of design language that you used to get this, to give it that kind of, mean yet passenger look?
Yeah,
because this is basically a family car.
It is. And Ralph, Ralph absolutely pushes us hard on this to make sure that we have a good family of resemblance with all of our SRT products and that's what you see. You see a lot of that influence coming from our other SRT products. All about the functional piece of it though too. But you touched on something that, we did look at this as it's a 3-row Charger in its essence. There's so many people these days that they hang on to vehicles a lot longer. They want the 3 rows, they want the utility and the function of it, but they still want to have fun with a car or a sport utility. And this starts to offer that up, having that utility plus the horsepower.
Now you said what, 4.6 0 to 60, was that right?
4.4 0 to 60.
Okay, 4.4, and then the quarter mile time?
12.9.
Is that with all the seats taken?
No, just the way it is. And think about that. It's like, everyone talks about the heyday of, muscle cars in the 70s. And think about that. A 6-passenger, 3-row vehicle with those numbers plus airbags and, all the creature comforts. It's awesome. So just as it stands, it'll do that. So.
And of course, how does the all-wheel drive system work? Do you put most of the power to the rear wheels to give it that kind of rear wheel bias?
Yeah, most of the power to the rear wheels. There are 7 modes to it, so the customer can play whether it's they're in the snow, whether they're on the track. It'll affect shifting points as well. So really gives the customer an opportunity to engage with the car depending on the conditions that they're in.
And yes, of course, this is one car where the beauty isn't just, over there, no, skin deep. The interior is also very nice. It's got that Hellcat theme to it. Talk to you about the interior. I see you've got the big, is that an 8-inch or is that bigger?
It's a 8.4 inch touchscreen. So great size, Uconnect. Lets SRT performance pages. So it really lets the customer, again, interact with the vehicle, look at his performances, 0 to 60 times, braking times. Our customers love to be engaged that way. The other thing that we're really excited about with the 2018 Durango is the fully wrapped leather instrument panel. It really brings the vehicle up a notch from an opulence standpoint. We have carbon fiber accents in the doors and the instrument panel, and a new color for us, what we call demonic red as well. And it really it contrasts well, but we like to have fun with the names of our wheels and interior pieces of that. So, yeah, we're good at that. The sinister side of it, I'll say. And then a suede headliner and A-pillars as well. So.
And it's an 8-speed, right?
8-speed.
So it's the
correct.
same transmission that's in the Hellcat.
Correct.
Basically. Now, I noticed we have a long-term Hellcat, and I noticed that these buttons are empty in their Hellcat, but I see now what goes in them, right? You've got adaptive cruise control.
Adaptive cruise control, absolutely. So, I mean, what a great thing, you know, this high-performance vehicle, but being able to, you know, go on the expressway and put it in cruise and let you set your distance between, you know, the car in front of you, how close you want to be.
All right, so I got to ask, have you driven it?
I have driven it.
And
yeah.
what's it like?
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And you know what we did too is we tuned the exhaust so that it's a little bit more attitude than normal. So
Okay.
for a Durango, it sounds absolutely awesome, goosebump cool. So
All right,
I
I'm
love
going to
it.
ask you these things, but you're probably going to tell me nothing. So, have you released pricing?
No pricing.
MPG.
Don't have that yet either, and it'll be on sale at the end of the summer.
Okay, all right. So, and will there be a program where I actually get behind the wheel and get to drive this bad
Yeah,
boy?
absolutely.
Oh, that's
Yep,
great.
Yep.
Great.
Yep.
And in terms of kind of colors, are they the standard colors or is there a special color?
Standard colors.
Okay.
Standard colors. Yep. And anybody who buys it also gets a one-day Bob Bondurant track experience covered as well. So it's a great thing for our customers to, you know, really understand the SRT kind of lifestyle.
I take it differentiates itself from the Jeep because you've got that extra row back there.
Extra row, a little bit longer wheelbase on it, and a little bit more attitude than the Jeep too.
Yeah, yeah. And what's your favorite part of the car? That's always my softball question.
The face, you know, the face of a vehicle it sets up the essence of it, and I just love, you even touched on it, it's a very graphic kind of stormtrooper style to it, and I love that. I think it stands out.
And I think it would be remiss if I didn't mention that I think you said 8,600 pounds of towing capability?
8,600 pounds of towing, yeah, pretty awesome, pretty awesome.
So you didn't
tow a
put the
race
exhaust
car.
in the center.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's why we didn't do that. But yeah, you can tow a race car to the track, and you know.
I was trying to think what
it.
this competes with, and the only thing I could come up with was the Jeep, because obviously the Suburban, you know, is
yeah
a lot less power. Same thing with the Tahoe. The Japanese don't have this much power.
Yeah.
So is this the most powerful car in this class? It must be.
I believe it is.
Yeah.
I believe it is. Yeah.
And when does let's call it the Hell Kitty version of this come out?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So right now this is the top dog Durango.
This is the top dog Durango.
All right, well, thank you very much. I appreciate the
My
time.
pleasure. My pleasure.
So I can't wait to get behind the wheel of this vehicle, and I've been told that we're actually going to get to do some track time with this. As always, this is Roman reporting for the Fast Lane Car. Check out tflcar.com for more news, views, and of course, real-world reviews from the Chicago Auto Show. Click up here if you want to watch a few more new cars being introduced right here. See you guys next time. Ciao.